assessment tool called Traitify, you'll go to rutgers.traitify.com and click the blue Login button to get started. You'll use your NetID and password, and you may have to fill out a couple of pieces of information about your major and your graduation year. Once you've logged in, you'll be able to take the assessment, which only takes a few minutes. Not kidding. You're going to see this instruction box pop up. Please remind yourself that when you're answering me or not me for every picture that you see, you need to keep in mind that this is based on your work life. So respond to each image based on your work preferences. With that in mind, you go through each picture. It gives you a word that helps to capture what the picture is meant to represent, and you have me and not me to choose from. I'm going to fly through these really fast, and obviously this is not how you should take it. But as you go through, you can see the progress bar so you know how much you have left to do. You're not wondering, okay, how much more is there? How long is this going to take me? And for each picture, you're clicking me and not me. Take a moment, think about the picture, consider your work preferences and your work environment, and choose me or not me accordingly. There's no right or wrong answer. It's about you. Now, again, I went through that very quickly just so we could get to this results page, but it'll take you probably 2 or 3 minutes to think for a moment about each picture and choose me or not me. Once you've taken it, you'll come to this page just as we did. It tells you your personality blend, which are your top 2 personality types based on how you answered me or not me for the photos. It also tells you your career matches, which we'll talk about in a moment. But if you keep scrolling down, you'll see your personality breakdown. There are 7 types of personalities that are available as a result for this assessment. You have a little bit of everything, maybe more of some things and less of others. Based on the random way I clicked through this, I have a pretty good blend of everything actually. But for each one, when you hover over it, it tells you more about that personality. And so what does it mean to be a visionary? What does it mean to be an inventor? An important note about this assessment, and really any assessment, is that it's not meant to define you or put you in a box or label you in a way that is limiting. So just keep that in mind. You are free to agree or disagree with any and all results within this assessment. It breaks down your personality traits even further and gives you a percentage of your match. This is helpful so you can get some extra language of how you want to talk about your experiences and what you bring to the table during an interview or conversation or networking. And you're able to see all of them if you click Show More. And the whole list of all of the personality traits are there with your percentages along with them. And at the bottom here, as you continue scrolling through the personality traits, you get to complements and conflicts. Complements are the types of other personalities that you would work well with, that would complement you. And conflicts, you guessed it, those are the ones that you may have conflict with. It's helpful to know this going into team dynamics so that you can know who you'd work well with and who you might need to be intentional about approaching your work with and having conversations and setting parameters. Lastly, there's environments. What is it about a space that you enjoy? What do you need from a supervisor and a team and a physical work environment? Again, these are things that you can agree or disagree with, but they are here for you to explore and consider as you're doing job searching and internship searching and really figuring out where you want to land. If at any time you feel like the results of this assessment are really not accurate, you can reset your personality. This doesn't change you as a person. It does give you a chance to take the assessment again, though. And if you do that, please make sure that you're not abusing that. You're not just resetting your personality every once in a while to see what happens. This is not a BuzzFeed quiz that you can rig to get certain results. This is more about you as a person, you as a professional, and the types of careers and spaces you want to be in as you go into your work environment. So again, that's there, but don't abuse it and only use that really maybe once. Maybe you take this assessment your first year and you want to take it again your junior or senior year to see how you've shifted as you've gained life experiences. Totally fine. It's available. There are no limits. Just set that limit for yourself so you're not trying to get a result and get a match. You can be whatever you want to be even if this assessment doesn't tell you that. Now let's look at the career matches. So when you view your career matches, again, keep in mind this isn't meant to put you in a box or tell you what you can or can't do. So just consider that and take it with a grain of salt. Get curious. Maybe none of these things appeal to you on the surface, but you haven't ever really considered them. So click through. You can sort by best match and you can also sort by all of the possible matches. But it's helpful to see here, you can also filter by whether you get a bachelor's degree or if a graduate degree is required. If you know you don't want to go to graduate school, or you know you do, you can use those filters accordingly. If you know what you think you want to do, you can use the search bar and see if those types of results are coming up and what percentage match you have. For any single career match, you can click on it, and it's going to tell you more about what it is, how much you might make, if it's a job that's growing in the future, if there's a future for it, or if it's a dying career field, and what type of education are needed, along with some other information here. You'll see what experience levels required. This web-looking thing's really cool because it tells you what it is about yourself and your personality traits that makes you a good match with the career match that you're looking at. So where do you overlap? And in this case, the passionate area is a really big overlap for me and this position. It tells you some majors that you might consider taking. You do not have to go switch your major to one of these. These are just ideas. These are just to help you get thinking and consider some options. And maybe Rutgers doesn't have all these majors, but what other ones are available? And lastly, down here, you can take next steps. I recommend you check out My Next Move and ONET Online, as these are ways to continue researching this specific career and other careers. They give you other names that the career goes by. They give you more information about the skills, the responsibilities, the type of work that you would be doing, and it helps you get a sense of if you would be a good fit. So continue your exploration on these sites as you go through. And like I said, get curious. Click on something that you don't know anything about, or click on something that you're like, I don't know if I would ever do this. It can't hurt to look around and explore. It's free to do that. And it could result in you discovering something new and exciting that you want to do. Now, when you want to go back to that other page, you click at the top and click Personality, and that's how you can navigate back to this page to read about your personality blends. The last thing I'll say is there's a guide here. And when you click on this guide, you're able to use this to help you go through and make meaning of some of the information that I just went through with you. You can fill out your different your personality trait results in terms of percentages. You can think about your blend and what sounds like you and what doesn't sound like you. Remember, from the beginning, I said you can agree or disagree with all of this. And you can list out your preferred work environments. Go ahead and rank them. Put them in order. If you can't have everything in a work environment, which is most important to you? And lastly, you have your career paths. Which ones are interesting, which ones are not interesting, and what makes them a good fit or a bad fit. Bring this guide with you to an advising appointment, or just bring your results. Come chat with us and let us help you explore this and make meaning of it and figure out what it is that you want to do. I hope you enjoyed Traitify, and I hope this video was helpful.